and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to our November Parks Board meeting. I will read the appeal of decisions. Pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, please take notice that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under a common law writ of certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. All right, we'll move to the consideration of minutes, assuming everyone's read them, and if there are any changes, please say so. If not, I'll accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes carry. Any Metro Council referrals today? Moving on to old business, 09-17-05, staff request board approval of a slope easement at Asafran Park to permit grading and landscaping on the adjacent property.
And unless Tom tells me otherwise today, we're still waiting for an exhibit on that, so it wouldn't.
We could consider a motion to approve subject to that.
Okay.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. We'll move on to the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion unless there are any changes or questions for the entire consent agenda. I would like to add one thing or make a comment on the consent agenda on the amplification for the Musicians Corner. I think we need to make note that the stage should not stay up between the two seasons of that as it did last year. I know we talked about that before, but I think we should make note of that unless someone's opposed to that. But it stayed out there for more than half a year. All
Is
right.
that portable? That's not a portable stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Can I ask for a point of clarification on that? Do you mean not between shows or between the whole season?
Between the two seasons.
There's a spring and a
I think
fall.
between the two seasons.
Okay.
So if we can make that amendment to consent agenda,
Good idea.
seek a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The consent agenda carries with the addition as mentioned. All right, we will move to new business. Item 11-17-02, Ms. Maggie Sidlanger, representing Hip Donaldson, requests the use of the grounds of Two Rivers Mansion to host the Hip Donaldson Community Farmers Market with amplification and the sale and consumption of alcohol on Fridays from 4 to 7 p.m., May 4th through October 26th of 2018.
Ms. Sidlinger is outside here. We actually had a meeting on site with all parties, maintenance, the mansion, the Hip Donaldson. Everyone felt it was a good fit there. We support the move or the motion to have it be there.
All right, thank you for that, John. Any questions? Motion for approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to 11-17-03, the Division of Community Programs of the Davidson County Juvenile Court requests board approval to enter in an MOU with Metro Parks for use of space in certain community centers to enhance services to youth. Who would like to report on that?
Monique, Devon, and I met earlier this year with Judge Sheila Calloway and her staff. Tommy Bradley and Raymond Jenkins are here today. We feel it's an excellent chance to collaborate with juvenile courts. They'll bring staff in to McFerrin, Watkins, and Parkwood centers, basically using space that was too small for us to use as a club room or just a large space for just storage, and bring staff in and offer to do community programs with our youth and staff.
Right. Any questions?
Yeah, what were the community centers again?
McFerrin Center, a Watkins Center, and Parkwood Center.
Any further questions? Entertain a motion for approval. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to 11-17-04, Ms. Rachel Hamilton, representing the Metro Parks Cultural Arts Dance and Music Division, requests board approval for application and ultimate acceptance for grant funding of up to $10,400 from the Nashville Parks Foundation for preschoolers and their caregivers to experience a free, high-quality arts program in their own community.
Hi, everyone. I'm
Hello.
Rachel Hamilton. This is my compatriot, Catherine Wilkening. We're here. We've been here before. This is actually the second phase of this project, which was funded first by the Tennessee Arts Commission. We did a series of workshops out at community centers for preschoolers and their families to attend. Those were amazing. They lasted all through the fall of 2016. We gathered so much good feelings, good data, good anecdotes, and just recently, about a month ago, we devised, so basically what devising is we put together all those things that we learned, and we created a theatrical and movement piece based on our experiences out in the community centers into a show that we are hoping to tour back into the community centers. It will be a free event for anyone who wants to attend. We're looking at attracting the demographic of 2 to 4-year-olds and their caregivers. We're hoping to do this on the weekend to attract more families, particularly working families, into these performances. And the grant that we put forward to the Parks Foundation is funding that will allow us to create costumes, set, lighting, sound, all of the things that we need to tour this show. So it really is a truly spectacular and quality theatrical production that really was made by these young people, and touring it back to them so that they can be a part of that with their caregivers. So we're really excited to be applying for this funding for this next phase.
Are there any questions?
We'd love it.
Is this offered for all of the centers?
So we're going to start back at the regional centers where we first did the workshops, because that's those are the constituents that we first tapped for this project. But we're hoping with this funding, and we put in additional funding in this request, to take it out to some of the community centers, the neighborhood centers as well.
And once the initial performance is created, any fees after that will be performance fees, and it'll be very cheap for groups like Friends of Metro Dance or other interested parties to fund a performance. You just pack it up and you just move it to the center, and it'll be easy to tour beyond the regional centers after that.
Just a reminder, what were those regional centers?
So we were at Hartman, Southeast, Hadley, East, Sevier,
Coleman,
and
McKay?
McKay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Thank you for that presentation. I entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
A second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, 11-17-05, Friends of Warner Parks request the board to accept a donation in the amount of $23,539 from the Friends of Warner Parks to assist in a fully developed engineering study of the restoration of the Bryant Fleming Design Alley in Percy Warner Park. Please note, Metro Parks and the Friends of Warner Parks will divide the cost equally. I know Mark Weller's here. Mark wanted to say anything. Did you want to say anything about it? Or?
I don't think I need to say. Tim might have something to say about it.
No, we initiated a discussion about this probably a year ago when we identified the need to do some additional assessment of the alley before we could even come up with a cost estimate for restoration. So we looked at that with a consultant, and it became clear that we needed to do some additional engineering studies before we could even come up with that cost estimate. And so it evolved into this larger project that total cost is about $47,000, and Friends agreed to split those costs with Metro Parks.
Any questions? Entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Friends of Warner Parks. 11-17-06, Friends of Green Hills Park requests the board to accept a donation in the amount of $75,000 to fund the following improvements in Green Hills Park. I won't read all the details, but it's grassy berms, crepe myrtles, split rail fencing, flower beds, etc. It's a lot of things here.
Laura
Yes.
Fox.
And Laura Fox.
My name is Laura Fox. I'm the president of Friends of Green Hills Park. This is a small, well-used park next to J.T. Moore, but it needs a little bit of sprucing up, some color, additional play equipment, and we have folks who are interested in donating, and we're working on pulling a few more in, and so that we would like to get, of course, everyone wants to know if you'll accept the donations. So I wanted to take care of that. Some of these will happen sooner than others, but we wanted to ask that we be allowed to give those donations.
Any questions?
So you haven't raised the funds yet?
We've got certain things that are done, like the grassy berms are ready to go as soon as the contract is signed. The log obstacle course, we're going to start a fundraising project for that. And then some of the plantings, I think people are ready pretty soon to do that. It's sort of in kind.
Any further questions? We have a motion for approval, second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
11-17-07, staff requests board approval for application and ultimate acceptance of 2017 grant application for Tiger 9 2017 funds with Metro Parks as applicant and/or partner agency.
So this would let us continue construction of the 440 Greenway. Two segments. One would be here at Park Plaza going north to Boyd Park, and the other would connect Sevier Park to the trails on Gale Lane Park, the trails on Battlemont Park, and a spur connection to Franklin Road. It's an 80-20 match. So 80% federal funds, 20% local.
Any questions? Accept the motion for approval.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. 11-17-08, staff requests board approval for application ultimate acceptance of the 2017 grant application for TAP, T-A-P, funds with Metro Parks as applicant and/or partner agency.
So this grant would also be used for the 440 Greenway. It would go construction of a trail from this building down to the 28th Avenue, 31st Avenue connector. That's also an 80-20 grant.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to 11-17-09. Staff requests board approval to accept a donation in the amount of $120,000 from Greenways for Nashville in support of the I-440 Greenway construction project from Elmington Park to Omen Street.
Yes, this is a grant or a donation raised by Greenways for Nashville from HCA. Amy Crownover has brought this for us from Greenways for Nashville. It would go toward the current construction of Phase 1 of 440 from Elmington Park to this building.
When will all these take place, do you think?
The donation from Greenways for Nashville is under construction now, so
Okay.
this would go towards that. The other two, we don't know when those will be awarded, within a year or less.
Okay. Any questions? Motion for approval? A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion carries. Moving on to 11-17-10, SODM, to open a discussion regarding Walk of Fame Park and Bridgestone.
As you all probably know, as you do know, George and I met with some folks from Bridgestone early last month about a sponsorship opportunity at Walk of Fame Park. And the issue that what we realized is that this board had never had a discussion. While there are policies in regard to naming and sponsorship that have parameters, that this board had never had a real meaningful kind of discussion about really what you would like to see in parks in general. We're getting a lot of offers in parks to sponsorship offers, and we are in favor of private-public partnerships. We do like that. We support that. It allows us to leverage our dollars. However, we need to be, or you all should be, thoughtful in how we approach allowing those types of opportunities. And I know that a few of you have spoken to me about your thoughts, and this would be the most appropriate forum for you all to have your discussion. So just wanted to open that discussion.
And when did we pass the new signage bylaw for the bylaws? Was that 2 years ago?
More than that.
It was more than that, okay. Because we used to allow zero signage or advertising. We decided to, in a subtle way, for those of you who weren't on the park board back then, to allow it in a subtle way and very indiscreet, because we don't want to commercialize our parks. And it's always been a real issue and concern of this board. And I think as Nashville continues to grow, especially in the last couple of years, we've seen we've seen a lot more offers, as you put it, an encroachment almost in advertising, in requests for parking, because as space is limited in the city, people want to use our space. So I think we need to be very, very careful setting precedent, and also to protect, the green space that our citizens use to escape from, the normal, life they live, and that's what parks are great for, is that escapism, as like to call it. So that's my opinion. I think we've got to be very, very careful on allowing too much commercialization of our parks.
What specifically is Bridgestone's request for partnership?
Well, we have sent to them some offers, and there's a naming policy that exists already for the board, for the parks, and it says that a park that is already named will not be renamed ever. What Bridgestone is looking for is that the square that surrounds Walk of Fame Park be named Bridgestone Square.
So you want to list the three options?
Bridgestone Square at Walk of Fame.
Right.
Correct.
So they wanted to add on to the name. Is that
Right.
right?
It's kind of all-encompassing almost. And also to have some signage and some other things in there. And we just have to be careful, as I want to echo what Monique said, we have a very strict policy of renaming parks, because I think that it really opens up a can of worms.
And what we had proposed was, in thinking of consideration of the policies that already exist that would allow us to name features within a park that's already been named. The plaza, a plaza that will be created, Ridgestone Plaza, or naming of the Great Lawn area that will be developed. And I should say
or the pavilion,
and the pavilion, yeah, a pavilion.
So do we have a set of naming policies?
Yes.
We've already
There is a naming policy
for each element?
for all parks.
For all parks.
It's,
And we also have to keep in mind.
But does it include potential sponsorship? I mean, does it?
There's a sponsorship policy separate, and that's fairly new as well.
Okay. And so this fell out, so this request from, I'm just trying to understand, this request from Bridgestone fell outside of any of the policies that we had?
Yeah, there was a renaming issue, we thought. And it's a large gift, which would probably have to go through here and then council, if I'm not mistaken. But we felt very commercial for what we're looking for. So we gave them some options that we thought would be doable for.
So we're still in discussion?
Right, correct.
But you're
And also,
right.
and on that park, and I mean to interrupt Terry, but keep in mind, the Walk of Fame Park, I would say more than $1 million has been spent there for the medallions for the Walk of Fame stars, and there are a lot of visitors that go there, so we got to be cognizant of that because we allowed through the NCBC for that to occur, and that is a big event every time they have something and a big draw for tourists. So there's more to it than just the renaming of a park. So, but we're all
They were
about.
wanting to take that out?
No. But we have to be cognizant it's there, and we're all about working with Bridgestone. Don't take this the wrong way. We just have to be very balanced about it.
Right, which I understand. I'm just wondering if we need to look beyond the Bridgestone more broadly, if this is going to continue to happen, and we're going to continue to be approached, because it is really wonderful to be approached for improvements to the park,
Right.
For some private dollars to do that. And maybe we have enough policies in place, but if this one was brought to us specifically, I'm wondering if we need to look at our policies.
I think we
again. Is
probably
that-
all need to have, maybe we can have a committee meeting in the next board meeting or two, depending, and just revisit that, just so we all understand it, because we did a lot of work getting to that point a couple of years ago.
Okay. And I'm not as aware of that.
No, that's fine.
I'm still playing
No.
the new card.
Yeah. Are there any other questions or points or agreement or? Well, we just want to get that out there. We're waiting for, what's the next step with them, I think? Just waiting to hear back, I guess, if they're going to accept one of the three to bring in front of the board, and we'll just keep you posted.
so there were 3 options that were.
We did. We submitted 3 options.
Could you kind of go through those?
Sure,
Yes.
sure. And I should say that these improvements to Walk of Fame Park are already in a Phase 2 plan that Parks has already developed.
Even better?
So we would, we would love to do these ourselves, but.
And I want to make the point, you vetted these with your staff.
Absolutely.
Right, okay. These
Absolutely.
3 options.
Yeah. So there is a plaza area that will be created, so naming of the plaza area. And then naming of the plaza area and a pavilion that will also be included in that area. And then naming of a Great Lawn area. So those were the 3 options that we submitted to Bridgestone.
Then the balance becomes how much signage do you allow, so it doesn't become too commercial. So that gets back to the balance comment earlier. So.
So for clarification, these 3 items that have been vetted, that possibly fall within the overall parks plan.
Yes.
They will possibly choose one. Those other things will be done still?
Yeah, it's
part of-
funding,
as part of
as
the-
part,
with
right, as part of the development plan.
We're not
Yes.
changing the name.
Right,
No.
just those 3. Yeah, okay.
When we see what they want to do, can we take into consideration the Bridgestone name on the arena in relationship to where within Walk of Fame Park they would have additional signage? Because they've got signs all over the arena.
And
on the building.
And on the building, which is 2 blocks the other direction.
Right.
So we need to look at it with different perspectives.
Right.
That's good.
So we just thought it would be important today to bring this up and to have the open discussion and bring everybody up to speed.
So then as we hear from Bridgestone, we'll inform the board, and then I think you said have a committee meeting,
Yeah.
either at the next board meeting or the following one to have another discussion.
So is Bridgestone approaching this as a philanthropy, as a philanthropic project for giving back to the city, or was it felt more commercial? I'm just trying to get the nuances here.
Yes and yes.
Fair enough. All right.
And it's a big donation. I mean, that's why we're all about working with Bridgestone in a private-public partnership.
Sure.
Absolutely. But again, it gets back to just doing it.
I mean,
We dial it in right within our policy.
It could be very beneficial
Right.
for the parks too.
We're all about
so
that,
I
yeah.
think working something out that works for everybody is glad you're going back and forth on it.
All right. Thank you, Monique, for that. I think that is the end of our new business. We had a lot of items today. All right, we're going to move to special presentations, introductions. Ms. Terry Short requests permission to address the board regarding the proposed acquisition of the Northwest YMCA facility. This is Ms. Terry Short here.
Yes, I am. Good evening. My name is Terry Short, and I'm a supporter of the Save the Bordeaux Northwest YMCA. And I'm here to ask you, the board, to disapprove acquiring and operating the YMCA as a community center. We have 3 community centers in our area within a 3-mile radius of the YMCA. We have Hartman Park, as you're aware, that's on Tucker Road. We have the Luby Center, that's on Rosa Parks, and we have Hadley Park on 28th Avenue. However, we will, if you have money to spend to operate more centers, we respectfully ask that you upgrade and improve those current center options that we currently have. So again, these are our supporters. Please stand up. I want to let you know everybody that's here that's in support. We have some people also out here in the hallway, and we are representing Saving the Y, and we have enough. Thank you for the 3 centers that we currently have in our community. And again, we ask if you have funds to do some upgrades and improvements, please do those to the current centers that we already have.
So we, I guess 2 meetings ago, talked about, or were asked to delay this until January meeting. Have you heard anything from the Y? I have not talked to them at all since then. Is there any input that you're getting from the Y where they stand on this?
Absolutely not. Well, nothing more than the initial information that you all had. My understanding was that the YMCA was supposed to meet with the members of the Y in the community to come up with some solutions of how to sustain the YMCA. We have heard nothing. No one has contacted us. They are very aware that there's a group of members and community members in the community that, I'm getting a little nervous here, that is for saving the YMCA. And we have had no input, and that's what this time frame was supposed to be about. And so no, we know no more from the first July meeting from the YMCA than we know today.
Well, thank you for that, because I would say this board really hasn't taken a position because we haven't gotten to that point, and we were asked to wait till January, so your input's very important to us.
Okay.
And we just need to wait and let it play out a little bit until January, and we can just take it from there.
All right. Well, thank you so very much, and we appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. If you're not on the agenda, you can't speak. You can speak the next meeting if you get on the agenda appropriately. All right. Tim, capital projects update.
Okay, I'll just hit the changes since last month. You do have a list of the FY18 capital projects here that we've been pulling together, for which we've been pulling together proposals. And they are the Antioch Community Center renovation, Jefferson Street Park, which will be our first presence on Jefferson Street, and we're working closely with Fisk and TSU and the elected representatives, Nashville Civic Design Center on that project. That's going to be exciting. Red Caboose Playground, which will be a replacement and a community build of that big wooden playground that's there in the park that has is at the end of its life, but that community wants to do another community build type project, so we'll repeat that for a new generation. Old Hickory Community Center, which was one of the centers that we inherited when Old Hickory merged with Metro, so we're looking to expand and enhance that. Sunnyside Mansion restoration, this is one of our historic sites for which we've requested funds for many years. It's really at risk, so we're glad to be able to move forward on that. Two Rivers Mansion Events Pavilion, that's consistent with the master plan that we completed about 6 months ago. And then what we're calling Wharf Park. You guys haven't adopted a formal name for it yet, but it's about 11 acres below Rolling Mill Hill, south of Rolling Mill Hill on the river. This is a site that has already been identified for development of the Nashville Rowing Club's boathouse as sort of an anchor program element. Incredible site.
Let me ask you about that.
Yeah.
So where are we? Are we in a master plan? Are we in a master plan phase? That because that is going to be private-public in that someone's raising a lot of money to help us. Yes. So can we tell them that we're in the master planning phase for that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe they're aware of that. We haven't made direct communication with them recently on this, but what we felt was important was for the boathouse, for the site to be for the boathouse to be essentially a component of a larger master plan for the site. It'll really be kind of the anchor tenant there, but there are a lot of other program elements that will be incorporated into the site, so we didn't want the boathouse to get too far ahead of the master plan.
I think what they're asking for is if we can plan it where if they want to go ahead and fundraise for the boathouse and build it, they can go ahead and do that, and everything else can be in different phases.
Yeah, that's absolutely how it would happen. We need to get far enough with the master plan to so that we don't drop the boathouse in the middle of a park and then have to design the rest of the park around it. But they're aware of where we're at with that. All of these are for just for design only. We don't have money for construction except for Red Caboose Playground, because that's not actually capital fund. So hopefully by this time next month we'll have those proposals in place, and we can begin to develop specific timelines for each of them. Oakwood, this is redevelopment of that park. Construction bidding is underway, and a groundbreaking has tentatively been scheduled for December 9th at 10 a.m. And when we confirm that, because I don't think it's been confirmed yet, right? We'll share that information with you. On the master plans for Stones River Bend and for Antioch Southeast, we're wrapping up those master planning processes. We'll have a final round of public meetings for each of those tentatively on December 6th and December 9th, and again we'll share that information with you. And also around December, I believe on December 5th we'll be sharing those master plans with the mayor, and then hopefully immediately going into design phase for a phase 1 on each of those sites.
Jefferson Street Park, that hadn't been officially named, has it?
It has not.
Okay, I was asked that the other day. Okay. Any questions for Tim? As usual, you got a lot going on. All right, Jackie, upcoming special events and activities?
Well, the holidays are coming up, and people always say there's no place like home for the holidays. I always say there's no place like parks for the holidays. But at any rate, this Friday, one thing that I've talked to many of the older board members about and have done so consistently for the last 10 years, is the Student Teacher Holiday Exhibit at the Centennial Arts Center. They will have their reception this Friday at from 5 to 8 p.m. It's free, it's open to the public. If you are looking for a unique, one-of-a-kind gift for Christmas or the holidays, this is the place to go. So if you get a chance to go to the reception, please do so. I think you'll be blown away by just the sheer talent of the students and the teachers, and all of this is for sale. So you can start your holiday shopping early this year. On the 17th, the Centennial Jams Band Showcase is scheduled at 7 p.m. at Luby Theater. This is a free concert. It will feature teen and youth playing rock and pop classics, as well as original tunes. The show starts at 7 p.m. Sam Frazee, I think, is over our music division at Metro Parks. Is there anything you want to say about the upcoming showcase?
It's going to be a great time. We've got bands starting as young as 8 years old, going all the way up through 18, and should be a lot of fun.
Great. Then on December 1st, we have the Mayor's Tree Lighting Ceremony. It's at 6 p.m. at Public Square. The celebrity guest is, or entertainment, I should say, is Margot Price. Then from the 1st through the 3rd of December, we have one of the city's holiday traditions. It's the mini Nutcracker. Catherine is here, and no one can tell that story better than her, so I'll let her come to the podium and tell you a little bit about that, if you will.
Hello. We're in the dance division, and we have our wonderful Centennial Youth Ballet, and children as young as 9 perform we have 2 guest adult performers this year, and we have children ages 9 to 18 that perform all the roles: the Sugar Plum Fairy, the Snow Queen, the Dewdrop Cavalier. They're absolutely outstanding. I'd love to invite you to come, but we're pretty much sold out. But I do have some seats set aside, so if you would like to come, please let me know. But we have families that come from all over. We do have an invited dress rehearsal on Thursday evening, and we invite different community groups to come. So if you do want to come, that's a great time. We do have some seats left over for that. But it's full production. We get the entire Cultural Arts Division involved. We have, I think I added up volunteer hours recently, and I think we have 976 volunteer hours from parents and families that go into creating this production. So it really is a full-on community affair.
Thank you. One last thing, on December 2nd at 6 p.m., Fort Negley is going to be a part of the Wedgwood Houston Art and Music Crawl. So that's it for me.
I have a question, Jackie.
Yes.
On the holiday art exhibit?
Yes.
Is it only that night, or is
No, the exhibit will run through, let's see, it begins on November 10th. It will go through, I believe it is Thursday, December 14th.
Can you purchase beyond that night, or only on that night?
No, you can purchase during that entire time frame.
I can't go on Friday, but that sounds interesting.
Yes,
so.
yes, definitely go, definitely go. Mhm. That's it.
Thank you, Jackie. All right, any department updates from department heads? Anything we need to know? I have several open items and open discussion items I want to bring up. One is, and I talked with Janet earlier, board orientation. We're going to find a meeting, it might be the next one, where there's not a committee meeting, and maybe just do that right before a board meeting, so that way you can save an extra trip here. And Metro Legal will come and kind of walk us through our responsibilities. So look for that. We've talked about, thanks to Jeff's idea, a visit to Fort Negley as a group, and we looked at some dates, and I think we're going to look at the first 3 Saturdays of December. Janet is going to send an email out. We want to get as much participation as we can and get a tour of the whole site there. So look for that email. Some open items I had. One is Tony Rose Park. I know we approved a contractor using it as a staging ground, and along with a significant donation back to do that. That's, Terry, a good example of where we can get private help in a park that we need it. We decided to go that route. I just want to make sure we understand how that donation is going to come to us and how it's going to work and when we're going to get it. I think we just need to know that, since we gave up the usage of a lot of that park for about a year or so. So if we can get an update on that in the next meeting would be great.
We have a draft MOU that is at Panattoni right now that outlines those terms.
Okay, that'd be great. I just think we need to have it of record since we... We've talked about this a lot, and now that we're all settled back in the department, I would like to see us, and I don't know how many friends groups we have. Janet, do you know off the top of your head?
14.
Yeah.
Is it 14 or 15?
I'm thinking, a meeting, and they're always at the same month, so they come and present. As a friends group, which they're all just fantastic because they help us a lot, obviously, supplement a lot of things we can't do. But with that, there's a lot of fiduciary responsibilities as a board that we're allowing others to go raise money for parks and the mission of parks. And so we came up with a new financial package that we're asking everyone to fill out, so we can just see how much money is raised, how much is spent on everything, just so we make sure we're doing fulfilling our fiduciary responsibility. And so I think, and also it's nice for us to get an update from each friends group. So Janet, I think if we can look at an annual schedule, and if we have to double up, find 2 of the smaller ones just for a time's sake, that would, and maybe we can start that, if not December, in the new year. And I do think we probably need to have a few board members look, maybe before each meeting, if we can have a committee meeting where we actually look at the financials and the information we've received to make sure.
When is that information due?
July.
It was due, wasn't it? July 15th.
Yeah, July 15th.
So Janet sent something else out to those who had not sent their information.
And I've received 3 since I sent it out 2 weeks ago.
And so what happens to it? Who reviews it?
Well, this is a new procedure. Yeah, we implemented this right before you came on board, because we felt like we really need to pay more attention to this. And so in July 15 might be a little early because so many nonprofits are on July 1, I think, just like Metro. So maybe it could be August 1st or something. We can look at that. And then I think it needs to come to the board for review by email, and then we can ask questions before each presentation. And then at least we can ask the questions then and get the update from.
But it's them giving us their budget for the coming year?
I think it's both. I mean, it's, yeah, well, no, I know. It's the past. And
past year.
There's a whole questionnaire and financials, and also a budget for the coming year. So it should give us a full picture where they are. We just want to make sure groups aren't raising money and 99% goes to payroll or something. I don't know. And I don't think we have that issue. I really don't.
Typically not in a friends group, but...
Yeah, there you go. But it's
that
best.
would be a red flag.
Yeah, just, and with your background, I know you'd be very helpful. So I think it'd be really good to do that.
Yeah, sounds great.
So I wanted to give everyone that update. And then I have one more point here. So as y'all know, we have the Nashville Parks Foundation, which was set up by this board by virtue of us having automatic funding from the Ascend Amphitheater, which is just fantastic to have automatic funding from any source. So we decided to set up the foundation to accept the money that's coming to us from Ascend. I've been on that board the last year or so. I really don't think the chair of the Parks Board should be on that board per se. I just think there should be a little distance there. I would like for us at the next meeting to consider, and I'm just going to give you my opinion, with Terry's background, Center of Nonprofit Management, and the Library Foundation. I think it'd be great if y'all would consider, we can vote next meeting. It's just a quarterly meeting.
Thanks, George.
Does anyone have any other questions about anything or any topics before we get to Monique on the board? Jim?
One thing about Fort Negley, I had to look it up to make sure the Battle of Nashville celebration's on 12/9, Saturday. And so just kind of, as you're figuring out the date.
What time would that be? Because it might be fun to walk around and see. Oh, it is all day? Okay.
9 to 3.
Could we walk around and see that?
Yeah. It actually would be a good time to go see the fort and see a bunch of people there.
Okay.
But just as you're planning, just want to make sure you need it.
The big thing is I want to make sure we have good participation, so, and we'll contain it to the morning, I think, maybe better, or we'll give you both time slots, whenever works for y'all. Some of you have children, and we'll be cognizant of that, but we'll figure that out. Thank you, Jim. All right, now we'll move to the report of the director.
Okay, thank you. Well, I only have one thing. You covered very eloquently a few of the things that I was going to mention. That's okay. That's great. No, that's okay. But on yesterday afternoon, Sherry Hibbs, Darlene Morrow, and I were over at Cleveland Park Community Center, where there was an opening of a new music studio. And as you all know, we have a memorandum of understanding with the Boys and Girls Club of Middle Tennessee to operate that facility and run programs there. And there's several things that have happened there. We've gotten a donation of a computer lab. I think that was maybe a year ago, and the mayor was there for that, to accept that donation. And then the Notes for Notes Foundation worked with Boys and Girls Club of Middle Tennessee, and there's a fully operational music studio there. I encourage you to go by and look at it. We also saw a performance yesterday. It's a great studio, and it will be to encourage young people to pursue music, and they'll do those activities after school. And it's really exciting, and we got this, we're gonna call it platinum. I think they were calling it diamond or gold or something yesterday, but we got this platinum record in acknowledgement of the parks' participation. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And again, I would encourage you to go by and see that music studio.
And it's in Cleveland Park?
It's fantastic, yes.
That's great.
There was a great turnout of folks yesterday, particularly from the neighborhood, who have embraced the center and the activities, so it was good.
Speaking of Cleveland Park, did we ever solve the tree mystery?
There was no resolution, not enough evidence to...
Houston, you have 30-something days left, come on.
Really, not enough evidence.
Houston has 36 days till retirement, and he's counting every second. That's why he's smiling, look at that face. Anything else?
We should welcome Monique as her first word.
Of course. I know, I was...
First official. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your talking point.
Oh, no. It's good.
All right. Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
What?
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.